of course, he has checked it twice.
Your father, well, he's on the naughty list.
But not everyone made the naughty list this year. But which politicians are waking up to coal in their stocking tomorrow morning? Beverly Hallberg, president of District Media Group and the fellow at the Heritage Foundation, joins us now to break down the naughty and nice list coming out of Washington, D.C. Beverly, thank you for waking up with us this morning, and thank you also for playing Santa.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve, actually.
Yes, that's right. Merry Christmas Eve. All right, so Maxine Waters, she was in the news a lot this year, and I'm sure many of our viewers at home will remember her saying this about the president's cabinet members.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
All right, so given that soundbite, I have a feeling I know which list she's going to go on. But take it away, naughty or nice for Maxine Waters.
Definitely the naughty list, because what you saw was really the year of the mob who were attacking people or trying to attack people in their own homes, trying to go into public restaurants and try to disturb individuals just trying to have dinner with their families. And it wasn't just extreme left grassroots organizations that were encouraging these mobs and encouraging this behavior. It was actually some of our elected government officials who were encouraging violence. You just saw that clip from Maxine Waters, and she is one of the elected officials that was on the forefront and sadly was not held accountable, so hopefully Santa will.
Okay, so James Comey also made a whole lot of news this year, and you also say he gets a lump of coal in his stocking.
Yes, and he also made a lot of money because he wrote a tell-all book. I think he's one of the individuals, as well as other high-up members of the FBI, who are responsible for the credibility of the FBI being decreased very much so when it comes to the American public and their perception of the FBI. Here is someone who I think cared a lot more about his own personal perception by the American people, cared more about his popularity and money than he ever cared about the integrity of the FBI, and so I think he's definitely on the naughty list.
So we have two people on the naughty list right now. You're about to put hundreds more on that list all at once with Google, Facebook, and Twitter.
Where do we even begin with big tech? Big tech definitely was naughty this year, partially because of something we've known all along, which is when it comes to conservatives, they definitely censor conservatives, but even more so when it comes to the privacy of users' data. Only when you had Congress and other individuals calling them out were they forthcoming that, yes, they do sell your data to big companies and to outside players. So when it comes to security and privacy, you really can't be guaranteed that your data is remaining secure. So big tech definitely is naughty and gets a lump of coal. And I think next year, I think we're going to see more and more people questioning big tech and their practices.
I think you were absolutely right about that one. So let's shift over to the nice list and end on a high note here. The people affected by the California wildfires, I'm sure everyone can agree that they belong on that nice list.
Absolutely, and as someone who is from California myself, I actually have family that lived in Paradise, California, where this horrific fire took place. And what I can say is that as left-leaning as California is and is rightly attacked for their politics, what I can say is so many of the people there are wonderful. It's the firefighters who saved so many people from something that could have been even more horrific for them. And so many of families in those communities surrounding Paradise, California, have taken in individuals and families that have absolutely nothing left. So I want to say definitely on the nice list, the individuals who are taking in those who have been left with nothing, especially during this time of year.
That's my favorite one so far. You're absolutely right about that. Nikki Haley also makes the nice list. Why?
Because not many people who have left the Trump administration have done so on good terms. But here is someone who, because of how well she carries herself leading the UN as ambassador with such strength and also in defending our allies, she's been such a strong defender of Israel, and I think many Americans applaud her for that. But she's also someone who's been able to separate herself sometimes from the rhetoric of the president that we don't always like. She stands with him on the policies, but it has been able to set herself apart as someone who speaks differently on issues when not everybody is always crazy with the way that the president speaks about issues.
All right, we only have a few seconds here, but we got to get to this last one. It's not a person, it's a thing, but it's a thing that a lot of people benefited from, the GOP tax cuts.
Well, here's the one thing we know is that Americans have on average about $1,000 more in their paycheck, so that means more presents under the tree for their kids or more presents that Santa can bring along. So I definitely think that's on the nice list. So the GOP tax cuts huge in 2018.
You know what, Beverly, I think you made that nice list as well.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.